some
Yeah,
questions?
John, we got a couple
Yeah.
questions
Yep.
back here. Go ahead.
Is there a best time of day to communicate with you and send you these communications? Is it morning, afternoon? When do you have the most time to digest this information?
I would say I would say mornings definitely. The afternoons become a little crazy with trying to prepare for the next day. I would say mornings are definitely better, but you also have to be careful on which day it is. And I think it's just every contractor is different between their company meetings and just things that they have going on. And I think that's something that you could work out with the distributor on when they can get to the contractors, what day of the week. We have found Tuesday, Wednesday mornings are the best. Monday morning, nobody really wants to do anything like that. And then Friday mornings, nobody's mind is really in for something like that either. So I would say Tuesday, Wednesday, middle of the week, mornings, I've found that to be the best time.
Is it before the workday, like before you get started during the day?
No, I would say I would want to make sure. Are you talking specifically what part are you talking about?
I mean, before you go out to your projects and you go to the job sites and everything, is it checked before then, or is it throughout the day during the morning while you're getting your stuff done?
Yeah, I would say during the morning,
Okay.
definitely, yeah.
We got another question over here.
Hi, I'm wondering, do you guys read any industry publications, and if so, can you name them?
Any industry publications at all?
Electrical Contractor magazine comes out on a regular basis. Electrical maintenance.
Can you
Electrical Contractors magazine, we have a monthly subscription to that. Not sure if there's any others you guys use.
I think I have I get a builder magazine, I think, and that's where I see some of the stuff, electrical stuff, some of the information.
Just curious as to how and where you find out about new products.
I would say how is from the distributor mainly. We still deal on the manufacturer side as well. I would say distributor mainly, we would find out about new things. Manufacturer will come in and say, hey, we have something new. Can we put this together for you? And they would do something called a lunch and learn, or basically get lunch for the guys and just kind of show the new product to everybody. That would be the way we would hear about something new. Email as well, hear about it.
Yes.
So I have a two-part question. Do you guys have like a strict distributor that you work with that has like a distributor incentive program that helps you to drive your sales to one specific distributor?
We don't. I don't know about Joe, if you guys do.
No, I wouldn't say that we have any sort of incentive. Are you saying more of an incentive program?
So yeah, like an incentive program, like if you purchase X amount, if you're in the top whatever, you get a trip to wherever, or you get to go golfing, or you get to do something that it ties into an incentive to help you say, you know what, instead of going to ABC distributor, I'm going to go with XYZ distributor because they're going to take me golf or they're going to take me on a trip.
Yeah, so they have the distributors. Some distributors do have incentive-based programs like that.
Does that help you drive to say, I'm going to work with that distributor?
No, I wouldn't say. Me personally, no, because at the end of the day, I'm more for what can help me during the business day. I mean, a lot of those things would be great, but if that same company is falling on their face, I'm not gonna order from them. You know what I mean? So a lot of distributors do have those programs. If we end up meeting those goals based on how our year went, I mean, I think it's a great thing, and we will go and we do all those things with them. I wouldn't say that is any sort of major factor on us buying from them or not. No.
And then the only other thing I'd like to add is that, so every project that we get in, the bottom line, it relates to our pocket. So if one distributor is giving you a trip to Tahiti, but he's charging you 13% higher than the next guy, you're going to go with the next guy and say, the heck with the trip to Tahiti.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would agree with Tom. You know, I had a couple of experience, and after years, I regretted. There was an incentive in a company from Florida. They always to get devices and stuff like that, and they would send me rebates or give me stuff, and at the long run, I realized that the product, it was a little bit cheaper, but at the end for my customer, it started breaking down. So it was not a good idea. So I went back to my normal, manufacturers, what I think it's best for my customers. So I wouldn't go again for anything like that, give me a better price, or to my customer instead of giving me stuff. So I think that's just a catch, and I don't think it's a good idea.
Gotcha. Thank you.
As a follow-up on that, I mean, what is it that influences your decision-making then with which distributor you go to? Is it because you've built a relationship with a particular distributor? Is it its location? Is it the pricing structure that you're set up? What helps you, decide where you're going to go?
I would say a little bit of everything. Pricing will be the most important. Ability of getting my products. I don't have to hunt for them. That's what's happening right now. I have to go hunt for my supplies because there's not enough at that supplies. I don't have this, I don't have that. So I think getting the stuff to us would be the best. Pricing also. And we want to use a good product. That's how I feel. It has to be a good product now. So my customers, I don't have no callbacks, no service calls, pretty much.
Okay. Tom?
Customer support, if you're going with special products that you want to make sure it gets there within a timely fashion, and then if you have to submit cut sheets, that their department is providing the cut sheets in a timely fashion, and that, they're there to help you. So, sometimes the 2% difference on a cost isn't going to make or break the deal. So if you have an established relationship with a supply house that they go that extra mile and the delivery guy says, I can't find you, instead of pulling off the doggone job site, he'll go around back and see the guys around the back, or whatever the case may be. It's that little stuff that matters to us.
Sure.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. Pricing, customer support, we found to be huge. Anytime we can pick up the phone and make a phone call, that's major. Pricing obviously is the bottom line, but if we won't hesitate paying a premium if we know we're going to get it there on time, if we're going to get it there earlier than the next guy, because at the end of the day, it's going to be more expensive for us if our field force is waiting on it. So yeah, I would definitely agree with the customer support, and and each distributor has an outside sales team as well, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that you can't fall behind on the outside sales too. So anybody coming in and checking up on the team, each department checking up and seeing if any outstanding issues. There's certain distributors that won't show up at all, and there's some that come, twice a week, and it really helps because, you can't always just, if you can't get a hold of somebody, that somebody's coming in, and you can at least talk with them, and then they have a direct line to their office. So all those different kind of factors, I think, help in deciding who we would go with.
Yeah, question for you. You mentioned, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, doing email and talking to manufacturer reps or distributor sales folks, lunch and learns. How much time are you spending, let's say, weekly on manufacturer websites or on sites like YouTube to get information about products, services, solutions? And is any of that enhanced content, say video or other types of digital collateral, important to you out in the field on the job site?
I would say that, to be honest, my getting online and looking on YouTube at different products, different videos and stuff like that, I would say during my work week, it would be minimum, to be honest with you. I don't do it as much, but that's not to say that we don't do it as a company. I know that Us having a design build team, I know a lot of our engineers do a lot of that. They're probably on more than I am. Yeah, not sure.
Well, I mean, on YouTube stuff like that, I don't get into that much. You know, if I need some kind of information, you know, I try to get it sometimes with the rep or distributor, you know, and they give me a number and I talk straight to the engineers. You know, I tell them, okay, this is how it's been done. You know, I mean, example, you know, I have dimmer's issue, I talk straight to the engineer, whoever designed it, and then they guide me how to fix it or whatever I have to do. So I think normally straight with the manufacturer, customer service, or engineer department.
I just like to add that, you know, most Sparkies, most electricians are pretty technical. So, you know, everybody's got the philosophy they can figure it out themselves. I think probably in the last month I went to a YouTube website once on LED strip lighting just because of the fact it was a particular manufacturer that we weren't accustomed to, and they had a very good YouTube video showing their, it was like a tape product that looked actually quite good. So most of the stuff we're pretty well familiar with.
That was actually my question. So on the fly, light fair, customer events. Obviously, from a manufacturer's point of view, they put a lot of time and effort into things like that. Do they resonate with you? Can you give an example of perhaps an industry event where someone did something that really stood out from a creative point of view?
Hands-on. If they're hands-on at the event, it's very easy to walk up and grab a pamphlet and have somebody talk to you about it. But if you're able to figure out a way to be hands-on right there and have kind of the points I touched on earlier, the pricing, you know, a lot of times you won't be able to give pricing right there, which is understood, but you can give a ballpark and we can kind of figure out what our pricing would be, availability, and anything hands-on like that. I mean, I think that's huge. And then a follow up to the email, because as we're hitting all these events and we're hitting the booths, I'll hand my card out, but a lot of times I won't remember, you know, every single booth that I handed it out to. And if I get a follow-up email and say, hey, remember when you tested out this product, and I'll remember. And I think that's a big point for me, if I'm able to actually put it to use and see how it works, actually hold it in my hand and see how it works.
Do you got anything to add to that? Anything stand out? You know, like vendor showcases, I know a lot of distributors will do that, where we'll bring in all of our partners and invite you. You can come in, but it is helpful, obviously, having the physical product there. And what about setting up? And somebody mentioned about lunch and learns or breakfast and learn. Coming out, do you like that? Coming out onto the field, bringing a product and demonstrating it, is that valuable? Does it interfere? I know some people don't, you know, you got to do it extremely early in the morning or at lunch when it's not interfering with, you know, getting work done. Is training a good tool? Is it something that you rely on the distributor and the manufacturers to provide to you?
Yeah, I think training is key to me. That's productive work. As long as the training is useful. We do a lot of, you know, lunch and learns, as you would talk about, and they would bring products into the office. We've also gotten to bringing it out to the field, and, you know, myself, I would meet the manufacturer and whoever else, the trainer, out to the field, and we would bring our field staff, our apprentices, journeyman, foreman, bring them all together and spend a half an hour and talk about something, because a lot of times, as much as you want people to ask questions, because I'm sure when you guys give these presentations, you're looking for like a Q&A, and, you know, a lot of times there's blank stares that I know, and that's half because we're just kind of digesting it, and the other half is because we don't have any other questions to ask. And a lot of times electricians in the field, their minds are always turning, and they'll come up with something, and they'll come up with can we use it for this, or can we do this? I think that's definitely helpful. I wouldn't go any longer than a half an hour to 45 minutes, because you don't want to take up too much of their time out there, but I think they come up with a lot of questions on top of what just the office engineering team, project management team could come up with.
Tom?
Hands-on is always advantageous, but as we mentioned before, fellows in the field know an awful lot about the lighting, but as the new products do come out, it is advantageous for them to see it. I think it's better, though, if maybe in-house gets it first and then lets the fellows see it secondhand just to make sure they feel it's something that the end user will want to, purchase.
Will you take the time to look at a training video, even if it was embedded in an email or directing you to a YouTube link or something like that? If training is important and maybe we can't get on your schedule or, so maybe you got to, we can send you some sort of, or even having a training source on a distributor website, would you gravitate to it because you knew there was a resource to go and find information?
And when you're saying training, training on how to install a product, or training on how to utilize a product, or training in reference to the lighting parameters associated with the fixture?
I guess I would like to know what training would be valuable, I guess would be a good question there.
Well, our industry, everyone's industry here, lighting is changing so dramatically. I think the biggest key is that when new lighting ideas come out, get it to fellows like us, but not so much technical, just the benefits of what that new lighting is going to do. Like, when the LED came out and replaced all the metal halide, that was leaps and bounds, So having information on what the next new lighting product is going to be, or what the new lumen output of this fixture or that fixture is, I think that would be advantageous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great. And
Yes, I would say it's real important to get hands-on, especially with my guys. You come in with products, show them how it works. If you have a video also, would mean a lot because they can see it, they can understand it. You can rewind it and see it again, if it's necessary. But yeah, I learned a lot of stuff. I mean, not a lot, but I seen a lot of videos, new products, out there. Like I said, the biggest thing for us is dimmers. We're trying to figure out what's the best, lighting and dimmers, together, they have to match now. We can't just throw a dimmer and hopefully it works.